Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Today's BTAS episode is Birds of a Feather. So, this one, it's not necessary. I guess, like, the eventual bad guy of the story is Penguin. In the story, it's about how there was a caper, he got caught by Batman, and he just got put back in prison. It was literally like 2 days after he was released from jail. And I'm just like, once again, what is this revolving door of the Gotham State Penitentiary? Like, at this point, how do they not get life sentences? So he was recently released. 2 days later, he did a bank robbery, and then now it's the last day of his sentence, and he's about to be re-released, and he's like actually turned a new leaf. So he's like all jolly with the guard, and he's like telling how he'll be welcomed back to high society, and there's probably a limousine waiting out for him, and there's nobody there waiting for him. He's has to take like a bus to get back to the city, which I'm just like, Penguin, you are a several time convict. Like, who the fuck is gonna welcome you back with open arms? I'm sorry, but no. Um, so he gets back to his house, and he's expecting there to be a surprise party, and he's like, "Oh, guys, this is a surprise. You're doing a good job. Where's everybody? Joker, Croc, huh? Where's everybody?" And I'm like, "Penguin, holy shit! I really don't think the Gotham City villains are going to throw you a surprise party for living out your sentence, and now you're a good guy. Like, what?" Why would you think that? Like, why would you ever think that? So Batman, he emerges from the shadows. He's like, nope, it's just me. I'm just here to tell you, I am on your ass. I am watching you 24/7, and it's so funny because, um, I mean, this in this like scenario it makes sense because the last time he got out, 2 days later, he committed a crime, but he always is. He never gives like the benefit of the doubt to male villains, but like female villains, he is always like, "Yeah, you got this, Ivy. I'm pulling for you, Harley." I'm just like, God damn, Batman, you are a fucking, you're something else, okay? You're a dick. That's what you are. So Penguin, he's just kind of sulking because he has nobody. When at the same time, he gets a phone call from Veronica something. I don't think it really matters, because in the previous scene, her and her, it's kind of weird. I don't know if it's like her brother or her gay friend or like an a boyfriend ish, but they're in the same house together, or I guess mansion together, and they're talking of like how she's only gotten 24 invitations to high class parties this year, and she really wants to spice things up. So she wants to throw a party with the Penguin being the guest of honor because literally she's bored, and having the Penguin there would cause a little bit of chaos or entertainment. I don't know. It's a fucking stupid plan, honestly. So she calls Penguin and asks him out for dinner, and dinner goes about as well as you'd expect. I mean, he is. You gotta cut Penguin some slack because he is pretty much like half penguin. So he like has these like whole fish, and he just drops them in his mouth and eats them whole. Um, which like it's not like high class society, but at the same time, he's like part fucking penguin. You gotta cut him a little bit of slack. So she's like absolutely disgusted in him, and I will say, Penguin is actually being a true gentleman. Like, yeah, he eats funny, but like he's very kind, and he has like a suave vocabulary, and it's just high class. Like, aside from like his eating, he is high class. So as they're on their way out of dinner, he gets mugged, or well, like three thugs are trying to mug him and his date, and he like fights them off. And then during the scuffle, Batman comes in, and he immediately, as Penguin is holding his umbrella to a guy's like head because it's self-defense. He has every right to blow that guy's head off. Batman comes in and he like he throws like the little ball of rope thing that like ties you up. I can't remember the name, but anyway, so Penguin's down, and then Batman takes care of the other thugs, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay? I see that you're about to get robbed there." And she's like, "What the hell? Penguin was like protecting me, and you just kind of like came in out of nowhere, and and did all this." And Batman's like, "Oh, well, I just kind of thought he was one of the thugs." And I'm like, Batman, he is actively holding his umbrella for the kill shot for a guy, and now, thanks to you, those guys are just going to go free and most likely commit crimes again because you're. Oh, God. The justice system in Gotham City is such a joke, and it's so upsetting that they do not have the death penalty or longer sentences or higher security. Yes, it is a world of make believe, and you got to turn your brain off for the suspension of disbelief. But holy shit, like you have some characters, like the Joker for one, who have absolutely no right to life. The Joker should be put down like the fucking dog that he is. And it's just the Gotham City, how they deal out justice, it's so aggravating. And then here's Penguin literally defending himself, and Batman's like, he attacks Batman attacks him. I'm like, God damn, Batman. Fucking, ugh. Anyway, enough of that. I'm just getting a little annoyed with the Gotham City in general. So anyway, he asks Veronica out for another date, and she's absolutely dreading it, but she's still going through with it, just so he can be a guest at the party. So they go out to an opera, and I will say, Cobblepot does start like singing along very badly, and it's like a penguin squawk, and I'm just like, Penguin, you're not an opera. Does not sing along. You shut the fuck up. All right. I don't know if you're trying to wound her or whatever, but you shut the fuck up. And she is clearly like not having a good time whatsoever. She's disgusted with him. But again, he like jumps back to like fawning over her and like, you know, holding her hand. Like he actually is trying his best to be a good, sweet guy. The singing though drive me nuts. I'm like, even I know you do not sing at an opera. You sit there, you look out fondly, and you behave. That's it. That's all you do at an opera. So it comes to the night of the party, and then Bruce Wayne is there because, you know, it's Bruce Wayne. Of course, he's invited to a high-class party. And he sees Penguin outside, and he's holding, like, some kind of jewelry, and he's like, hey, you admiring the, whatever their last name is, jewelry? And he's like, oh no, actually I plan on giving this to her to add to her collection. And it's like a golden penguin. And once again, really sweet moment. He actually is trying. He actually is like fawning over her. And then Bruce Wayne's like, oh damn, I'm sorry. Like, I guess I made a big mistake. And Penguin's like, yeah, well, when you're in love, you know, people can change. And it's so sad because then he goes to try and find her, and she overhears like the brother or lover or gay friend or whatever he is being like, oh yeah, this guy, he's making such an ass of himself, like nobody likes him, he looks so stupid. It's stuff like that. And before Veronica could really respond, Joker, he like flips a lid because he feels betrayed, he feels used, just hurt. So he gasses them both with his umbrella, and he ends up kidnapping her and flies off with his like motorized umbrella. So 24 hours passed. The cops are now involved, and Penguin, he like sends in a robotic hummingbird to send the ransom note saying how he wants $1 million, and for the other guy, I'll just say it's her brother. I don't know their relationship, but I'll just say brother. He wants the brother to deliver $1 million. So they set up a location, and he gets taken away via a rubber duck because he like falls down a hole into the sewers, and a duck like carries him off. And he ends up being at, I guess, the opera house that they were at for their second date. And he has Penguin has like Veronica like hooked up to a chandelier, and he like traps the guy's feet like right under it. I guess he like imagine this is foot, and he like just gets metal to come up from the floor and get. He can't move, is what I'm saying. And so he's looking at the money and sees there's a bat chip in it, and he's like, "Screw this! I'm gonna just kill you both now." So he's about to chop down where the rope is to let the chandelier go, but Batman comes in and he saves the two. And there's a big fight between Penguin and Batman. At one point, Penguin's on like a fire breathing dragon, which is a prop um, in like the stage. But I'm thinking, who the fuck needs that? Like, what opera are you doing that needs a actual fire breathing dragon? Great, the dragon's made of wood, but it's actual fire that spews out of it. Um, so Batman, he saves everybody. He defeats the Penguin, and then Veronica at the end, when he's being taken away, she's like, Cobblepot, I was actually starting to warm up to you, and I feel bad about everything. And I'm like, huh, yeah, it's almost like you shouldn't fuck with people's feelings or use them for your own entertainment, you stupid bitch. Like, I want to feel bad for you, but I, in all good conscience, can't. Like, you hurt him. Yeah, alright? I'm not going to say what he did was justified, but I fucking get it, you know? Like, he actually was being a good person, and I think, like, if she hadn't called, he would have been, just lonely in his apartment. Maybe he like would have adjusted back into society like more slowly but more surely, and actually been welcomed back eventually. But I don't know. She just kind of threw all that out the window just to get like a. Oh, hey, did you see Penguin making a fool of himself at the party? Oh, ha ha, pish posh. Oh. I don't know. It just annoyed me. And then Batman, like, Batman is all supposed to be all about second chances, and I get it. In this context, it does make sense because 2 days after a parole, he commits a crime. It makes sense for him to be like, "I've got my eye on you, Penguin." Like in that context, that makes sense. But like every time, he's always on a guy's ass, and he's like, "I'm rooting for you, girlfriend," or "You go, girl," or like, "Yeah, you got." I'm like, Batman, you can't pick favorites just because of gender. Um, but anyway, rating this episode, it's just a tragedy, honestly, because I truly think Penguin would have gone good, honestly. Because the whole time he showed like no signs whatsoever of being bad, and then he just cracked. But it is a painful watch. It's like it's just a slow burn. Because you know what's gonna happen. But rating wise, I'll give it a 6 out of 7. A pretty good episode, not gonna lie. It makes you feel, and that's pretty important. So yeah, bye.